when she's talking about the Epstein files and Elon Musk saying, well, we just have to stress, we really have to stress that Elon Musk isn't necessarily implicated. Yeah, I don't give that both sides-ism. I don't give that benefit of the doubt to billionaires, right? Neither does Brian Tyler Cohen.
Yeah, once you send the email requesting to visit the island, give me the best dates, I want to go to the wildest party, and we already know what this dude is about, like, you lose everything else. Like, I don't get why these dudes, just because they had you enamored with the idea of them and the spectacle of what they represented and things of that nature, like, when you find out that they're pieces of shit, like, hey man, if I would have known you were a piece of shit, I would have never supported you. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? There have been plenty of people that have, they're the behind the scenes of those individuals have been exposed to me, and I'm like, you know what? Now that I know how you roll, I don't fuck with you. You a piece of shit. What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Trey.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Back out with another video.
Another one.
And today we're going to be reacting to a video from Jack Cochirella. I'm hoping that I'm saying that right. But he's somebody that I've been watching. He definitely reacts to different political events, and he is on it, man. So if y'all go and y'all subscribe to it, he's going to keep you in the know with everything that's going on, all the breaking news. And with the recent events concerning CNN and Ellison, buying the network and all that good stuff, like, this is only the beginning, but he definitely had some thoughts about how the network is already responding to that. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into the video.
Very clear. And it did it to itself. I don't know who is tuning in to CNN anymore to see Jake Tapper spew propaganda for the Israeli government and play both sides-ism while Donald Trump is carrying out fascism. But what I do know, not an exact number, but a smaller number every single day. And the number of people willing to do that at CNN also just got smaller, as an anchor resigned on air while Donald Trump is declaring war on the news outlets, you can call CNN, as it is being bought up by...
So let's just recap for those of y'all that are not tracking. So you already got Fox News, the major news networks. You had Fox News, you had MSNBC, CBS, you had CNN. Those were the major, the major news outlets, right? So, Fox News is obviously state-sponsored media at this point. CBS News, recently acquired, changed their whole structure. Also more conservative-leaning nowadays. And now, with this latest acquisition, you already can see the signs of what's going on with CNN. I think they have some poll that CNN put out that there's 100% support of Trump's war in Iran, 100% MAGA support with Trump's war in Iran, which just, come on. Like, that's not a valid statistic. And the fact that CNN is putting that out right after being acquired or right after the merger, acquisition, whatever you want to call it, is telling. Like, mainstream media is cooked. It's over.
Yet another billionaire attempting to control the media, and it is because they are doing it at Donald Trump's direction. You can see it here. Trump calling on CNN to be bought, being the disgrace that it is, because he needs to control and propagandize. It's where I want to start before we get to this CNN host who quit on air.
Depends.
He's been saying this for years.
Good companies bidding on it. I think the people that have run CNN for the last long period of time are a disgrace. I think it's imperative that CNN be sold, because you certainly wouldn't want to put people, just leave those people with some money, good money, and CNN, so that they can spend even more money spreading poison, because it's lies. It's a disgrace. So I wouldn't want to see the same company end up with CNN, the same company with money. because right now they don't have too much money.
Donald Trump demanding that CNN be sold to Larry Ellison specifically. He's not just saying, like, this is a poorly run company and we do not want to see a great American product like CNN have its reputation tarnished. We need new ownership. No, he's saying, like, please tarnish away whatever is left of the brand. Let's rip it up, sell it for scraps, and he'll profit massively off of that. Because Donald Trump has seen Newsmax, he's seen Fox, he's seen, what's the other one? OAN. He's checking out CBS. And
Right, yeah. So, yeah, Newsmax and OAN, like, let's face it, they're on the fringes. That's the reason why I didn't include them, but he is right. They are definitely loyal supporters. So, like, with that being said, like, you got to think, like, these are all, like, just spewing Trump talking points. Like, he's going to have a full set soon. He's going to have a full set of news organizations to where, like, you know, I've already made videos about fascism and things of that nature. But, yeah, like, this is it, man. Like, if you control all the news organizations as you are also running the entire country, what else is it?
he thought to himself, I think I need one more. That is the point of the presidency that we are at. Donald Trump
Gotta catch them all.
is so unable to propagandize for himself that he needs his billionaires to buy up another news outlet to help him. And we know exactly what is going to happen when they do, because an anchor who left CNN, reading the wind, seeing which direction it was blowing, said exactly that. Jim Acosta, about what happened at CBS, which will take place at CNN under Larry Ellison.
Under the ownership of a family that is very closely aligned with Donald Trump. And so there are a couple of things that I think will happen. One is, if this same family is allowed to own CNN, they will combine those two news organizations, and we'll see another round of massive layoffs that will put journalists out of work.
Yeah. Starting with anybody that ever said a negative word about the Trump presidency, first time and second time. Like, this is not, like, wake up, man. I don't understand. Like, even if I can't imagine a world in which I was a Trump supporter, right? But even if I was a Trump supporter, I'd be like, oh, man, that's fucked up. You're not supposed to be able to do that. You're not supposed to be able to get away with it. Yeah, and I guess because I'm a Trump supporter, maybe I would just be like, yep, that's you know, that's the way of the world. I don't even get that from people nowadays. Like, people just ignore it, man.
And not just the folks who are on the air, the photographers like the ones that we see here, producers who work behind the scenes, technical crews who put these shows on the air, bureaus that are located around the world. Look what Jeff Bezos has done with the Washington Post, closing bureaus and offices and places around the world that are now very important.
And it's also stuff like this that is like, well, as far as mainstream news is concerned, like, independent media is still our last lifeline, and hopefully that y'all are finding some independent media that y'all like and support. But yet mainstream news is done. It's over with. You cannot go to them for accurate reporting. And it's a shame. It's a shame because that used to be the way that we got all the facts, what the reality across the world was, and we can't look to them for that.
To the news that we're getting today. And the other, I think, more disturbing aspect of this is that you basically have partisan hacks running CBS News, and they, as I said earlier in my comments, shelved a piece on 60 Minutes about the notorious Seacon prison.
Jim Acosta is exactly right. And it is not just that end bit, that point that he made, that maybe is the most important. Yes, they will be partisan hacks. That is true. But the beginning, the sentiment echoed at the start of that clip by so many, but Acosta in particular, it really rings true. There will be mass firings. This is about hurting journalism, not just by spreading propaganda for Donald Trump, but giving fewer platforms for real reporting to happen, right? It is not just about silencing those who speak, but it is about removing The number of people who actively can, shrinking newsrooms, trying to make news itself obsolete and something that we obscure and say,
They are like almost, this is an extreme take on what they're doing, but they're pretty much making it illegal to do accurate and honest reporting, right? Because you have to be conscious of the fact that you can't report on something that is too negative on the administration, or on some sides, like, not too supportive of the administration. Like, you are not allowed to do that thing with that at fear of being canceled or pissing the wrong people off. Now, I think there's less of a chance to piss off Democrats and or liberals. If you did that, yeah, sure, but that's only going to get you more views. Honestly, it's only going to get you more views and more support. Right now, there's more money and more clout in being conservative or more hardline right than the opposition. And y'all take that for what it is, because in a world where Trump is always complaining about how his coverage is negative, it just seems like there's so much more people making money off of conservative views and conservative takes than there are liberal.
can we really trust? That is what Donald Trump is after. That is what these people want to do. They want to break the news that is already so broken. It is why, y'all know I've said this a million times, but independent media has never been more important than right now. I wholeheartedly believe that. And it is why we see so many leaving the mainstream press. Midas Touch just brought in a new hire today, someone who had worked, Scott McFarlane, in mainstream media for decades. They are building out an operation. So is the Bulwark, so is Don Lemon. We are on this show as well. And it is why many are leaving mainstream press, as we saw right here. Watch, CNN host announces she's leaving the network live on air.
This is a hero. CNN has reached out to the White House for comment. Okay, now to some personal news. I have decided that this will be my last week at CNN. More to come on what's next for me, but I'm really excited about this next chapter. For now, a huge thank you to the team here on Early Start. We have covered some major breaking news.
And why wouldn't you? Why would you not leave the network? Seriously, why wouldn't you? Someone give me a reason. I'm waiting. I'm listening. And so far, I do not hear one. Now, when my good buddy, Adam Mockler, is...
So I won't go that far. I could see people not leaving the network depending on their financial situation, their family that they're supporting, things of that nature. And especially if they're not, all this stuff is brand new, right? So if they feel that they can still execute their shows and their coverage and things of that nature in a way that is not compromising to their integrity, their morals, if they're not being asked to do so, then you can stay. But if also to on the opposite side of that, if you feel a certain type of way about your organization being purchased, or if there are these behind the scenes conversations that are happening that you don't agree with, then by all means, you can leave. I'm not gonna, come down on her. I do applaud the fact that she go ahead and hit an exit now because of what I expect, right? But I'm not in those rooms. I don't know what's going on. So I definitely can understand certain people staying on, especially if they feel that, they can still operate on the inside, if that makes any sense.
On CNN and he's shutting people down. When I've been on CNN and I'm shutting people down, when I Am Politics girl Lee McGowan is on CNN shutting people down, when Mehdi Hassan, when he was before they were racist to him, so he's just like, fuck this, I have a bigger platform than you people, I'm not going to be on your show. Sure, it is fun to see MAGA get shot down, especially when it's Scott Jennings, the smug little bastard that he is. But that is not news. That is not information. That is theater. Now, I'm not saying that that's what Adam does. Adam brings the facts, and we see our friends on the left bring the facts, and then the theater comes as MAGA tries to spin. They have no idea what they're talking about, but that is not news.
See, I'm not saying anything that anybody else isn't. For those of y'all that watched any of my other videos and any of my coverage on Fox News and things of that nature, it's all performative, man. Like, wake up to the fact that you're being lied to and it's all just a big show. Like, seek someone out that is actually going to tell you the truth.
What they're attempting to do is not news. So more anchors who want to do news are going to quit. Now, I don't know if they're going to go to Substack, join other outlets. You see the explosion of more independent or left-leaning, we can say, in some of these instances, media. And that's what people want. It is why I am able to do this show. Because y'all have recognized that what you watch when you turn on CNN, and sometimes MSNBC, I love Chris Hayes, I love Rachel Maddow, even though Rachel Maddow has done some defending that I don't love of Israel. And we may talk about that on a different day. But I love Chris Hayes. I love Ari Melber. Nicole Wallace, you're great. A lot of great hosts over there. Stephanie Rule kills it. Interesting insights. But is it always perfect? Is it always honest? Is it always real? Again, I love my MS friends. CNN, we should probably say this a little bit more. CNN, we should definitely say this a little bit more. They literally have Jake Tapper shooting in a mock podcast studio right now because they want to pretend that if you throw a big mic in front of someone, then it's authentic. No, it's not. I started doing this show out of my dorm room. That's how real it was, okay? I was shooting fucking straight. There was no editorial board. There were no advertising interest. I had something to say, and I was going to say it. Sometimes it's got me into a bit of trouble, especially when we're talking about Charlie Kirk. But fuck him. And that was my position from day one. And that was not the position.
Yeah. And never missing an opportunity. Yeah. Fuck that dude.
Of a Jake Tapper. And I can promise you this much. I got no executive over my shoulder, a la maybe a Kristen Welker. Again, I like Kristen, but I have to say this. When she's talking about the Epstein files and Elon Musk saying, well, we just have to stress, we really have to stress that Elon Musk isn't necessarily implicated. Yeah, I don't give that both sides-ism. I don't give that benefit of the doubt to billionaires, right? Neither does Brian Tyler Cohen.
Yeah, once you send the email requesting to visit the island, give me the best dates, I want to go to the wildest party, and we already know what this dude is about, like, you lose everything else. Like, I don't get why these dudes, just because they had you enamored with the idea of them and the spectacle of what they represented and things of that nature, like, when you find out that they're pieces of shit, like, hey, man, if I would have known you were a piece of shit, I would have never supported you. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? There have been plenty of people that have, they're the behind the scenes of those individuals have been exposed to me. And I'm like, you know what? Now that I know how you roll, I don't fuck with you. You a piece of shit. Why can't you do this with these guys? Why can't you do it with Trump? Why can't you do it with Elon? Like, what's so wrong about being like, hey, man, I didn't know that you were like that. Fuck you. I don't mess with any of that.
Neither does Don Lemon. Neither do our good friends at I've Had It. I love you, Jen. Neither does Midas Touch. Now, of course, all people, feet of clay. There's a lot of channels that I like, that I watch. Sure, would I like them to talk more about the issues that I do? Would I like them to be a little bit more vocal, calling out a genocide? Absolutely. Would I like more attention brought to the displacement of 1 million people in southern Lebanon? Absolutely. Is Israel starting a war with Iran, not just to start a war with Iran, but to try to create their greater Israel project by seizing more land? As we have corporate Democrats being silent and in fact praising them, defending them? Yes, of course. I would love more people to talk about that. There's always a lot to talk about, and I understand that. This is not a criticism of my other friends. But what I can say about them is that they are not taking orders from corporate overlords. They are not taking orders from fucking Larry Ellison, who, by the way, biggest individual donor to the IDF. We should call it the actually IOF, the Israeli Offensive Forces, because there's no defense, right? There's, poor Israel. Fucking serious? All the strikes are leaving Tel Aviv. They're not coming in. Let's be very clear about that. There's no need for defense for the Israelis.
I'm no fan of Israel at the moment, but they are getting hit on some level. But I know what he's saying.
When they start everything. Are they taking money from the Ellisons? No. And who wants Larry Ellison to control their media? Not just because it'll be propagandized on behalf of Donald Trump, but it will make it worse. Listen to what they're talking about on Fox today.
Doesn't exist.
I have to disagree with Dana. I didn't think Kamala was hot.
Oh, she was
I
attractive.
said she was
thought she was-
beautiful. I'd say hot.
I don't know. I mean, she was okay. But I mean, if we're talking hot, she's not hot.
Well, I didn't say hot. I said.
Well, it's about hot people, okay?
AOC.
I'm not going
And
to go
Gretchen
there.
Whitmer. Being generous.
Do you ever see the?
Again, you can't take these people serious. They don't mean any. They don't stand for much. They don't stand for much. And I say that, I know Jessica Tarlov is part of the panel on this one. And I love Jessica Tarlov. I support her. She brings the heat. She brings the facts. She shows up the room of, when they're putting on their best performances. But I'm sorry, but stuff like this is just why, it's like this is not serious. Like, what are we doing? Like, why am I watching you? Why do you have a platform? Why are you a network? Who is supposed to believe anything that you say if these are the tirades that you go off of? This is fucking weird shit.
Is this what we want? We want Jesse Waters' take on how attractive he thinks Kamala Harris and AOC are? Now, if we want to do a debate on this show versus, let's say a John Ossoff and a Wes Moore and a Gavin Newsom, we can have a tasteful conversation. But do I want creepy ass Jesse?
See, I don't even like that. I don't give a shit what your rating scale on any of these politicians are. I want to know if they passing policies or recommending policies that are going to affect my life, anybody in my family's life. I want to know about your policy. I want to know how you plan on engaging with Congress, the Senate, the presidency, the judiciary. Like, I want to know how you're going to actively affect change in the world that's going to benefit me. That's what I don't give a fuck if you're homeless. Like, if you're smart, like if you're putting together policies, like come up with policies that are going to benefit the homeless across the world, like to avoid people falling on to tough times such as you had. Like, obviously, I get everybody's trying to be tongue in cheek to a certain extent, but don't clog up the airways with this type of stuff. Is my thing. Like, there's enough real shit going on in the world. Let's stick to it. Let's get to the bottom of it. Let's figure it out. Let's fix it.
Waters, who bragged about deflating the tires of his female producer so he could hey, honey, I can help you out while he was married? Do I want that guy discussing the attractiveness of women in Democratic politics? No. But that is what our news is going to look more and more like under Larry Ellison's control. It is the inshittification is the best term for it. It is not just propaganda. It is actively making the entertainment you consume much worse. Because he's not just buying CNN. He wants a subtle tilt on everything you watch. And when you control art for the interest of corporations or a fascist dictator or a genocidal regime, a la the Israeli government, you make art worse. It's not art anymore. Art opposes those things. Art opposes genocide. Art opposes authoritarianism. Good art does. Shitty art, yeah, you can mass produce that with AI slop. But nobody wants that. And so, in closing, I want my news to be news. I want the people I listen to be real. And if you do as well, there's only one solution. It is independent media. People who will be honest and real, and people who will call out this bullshit. I can promise you, we are going to do that every single day on this show. And I couldn't be more grateful that I get the pleasure to do so. Thank you.
So I'm going to stop it right there because I know This one's already gone a little longer than I was anticipating or that I wanted it to. But definitely let me know what your thoughts on the matter are. Like I said, it's a mess. Again, encourage y'all to get away from mainstream media because all these billionaires are just buying up all the platforms. So yeah, you are not going to be able to trust what you're being told. Or you're just gonna, be a sheep and just believing in everything you're told, and you're gonna be following falsehoods, like not just AI or whatever the case may be, but you're going to be fed a whole bunch of bullshit, and it's not going to benefit anybody, and we're going to go further down the rabbit hole and be cooked because of it. But until next time, I'll holla at you.
On my energy. I don't think you wanna be my enemy. I pop out, they go wild, so celebrity. Too busy winning, I forgot that I got frenemies.